Aloha, I'm Gabe from His Survival. In today's video I'll show you how to make chocolate from a cacao pod to a chocolate bar. It's dessert time. Hope you stay tuned. So I decided to dub this video because it's the best way to explain what's going on. And here's some cacao growing on the tree. And if you farm cacao, it's pretty awesome to make your own chocolate. And let me tell you, gentlemen, and the ladies already know this, women love chocolate. So if you grow chocolate or grow cacao, why not make chocolate? Your wife, your girlfriend will love it. I can guarantee. Unless she's allergic, but that's fairly rare. So here's some young pods and some older pods that are almost ready to be picked. It's kind of interesting tree. Beautiful. Young pods right there. Here's how to crack a pod, the rubber mallet. And this is how the different varieties look. There's red, orange, purple, whatever, a lot of colors. And this is extracting the beans from the pod. And all you want is the bean and the white part that is covering the bean. You don't want any of the other part of the pod to be inside the container getting ready for the fermentation process. You don't want any sprouted beans, any water, you don't want any dirt, you don't want anything in the container except for the beans and the white part that surrounds it. Because you can make a drink. You collect the it's like a juice. So that I'm just showing throwing away the sprouted beans in the pod. You don't want any of the little hairs, anything in there. Now this is the fermentation process, and this from start to finish takes about 5 days to have it all fermented to that right point, and you mix it every day. You want to keep it around 120. Now here we have some dried beans. And this takes about 2 weeks depending on where you are and how wet your environment is. But here in Hawaii it takes about 2 weeks to dry these beans after the fermentation process. And here I am taking the dried beans and putting it in a juicer. And this is a homestead way of making chocolate, just so you all know, and I'm not an expert. I'm learning, excuse me. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the dried beans in the juicer and breaking the bean up, and the husk is blown away by the fan right there, and I'm just lifting it up and the fan blows away the husk because it's lighter, and all you want is the nibs. And here's the nibs. The one part of the video I did not show is the roasting. You roast the nibs, but here we're taking cacao butter and adding Hawaiian grown vanilla into a bowl, and we're going to microwave this for a little while to heat it up and melt the cacao butter. And here's the nibs, here's the soy, here's the cacao butter with vanilla bean, and we're going to add it to the juicer. And here's the good chocolate liquor, and here's the undesirable, but you can always add it back in to the juicer and get as much of the chocolate liqueur, or liquor, excuse me, as possible. Now we're measuring how much sugar should go in. It could be 50-50, 70-30. It can be whatever you want. And I suggest you look up these measurements if you're serious about making chocolate. Now, we're adding the chocolate liqueur, I'm sorry, I keep saying that, into a wet grinder. And this wet grinder is a fairly interesting machine. Those round things are stone, and there's a paddle, and it spins around and binds everything together. And this process takes about 3 hours, and you slowly add the sugar and make sure everything binds together. And I'll take this opportunity. Yes, I did not show roasting in this video. I think roasting is not very exciting, so I didn't show it. So after you get the nibs, you got to roast it, and then you can make your chocolate liquor. And pretty much at this point, it's chocolate. I mean, it's sweet, or it's sweetened. It's got the vanilla bean. It's got the soy. It's got the cocoa butter. And now, this is a very important part. This is tempering. Now, out of the main batch of the chocolate liquor, you take about 4 ounces, or a small amount. And the main batch is at 88. And you take the small amount and you put it in the refrigerator and get it down to 78 degrees. And then you add it back in to the wet grinder and the main batch and bring that up to 88, 90 degrees when it's ready to pour. And this is all kind of by sight. My friend has been doing this for a while, so I'm lucky to learn from him. You just kind of have to know when to pour. It just takes experience and a couple times making chocolate. I mean, just with anything, you can look at the consistency, and it's pouring beautifully right here into the molds. You can see right here, it's just perfect. This is a good batch. And again, this is a homestead way of doing chocolate. We're not experts. I'm definitely not an expert. My friend, he's been doing it for a while, and I'm fortunate enough to learn how to farm on his farm so I can farm better on my farm, if that makes any sense. So, we pour it into the mold, and you basically slam it down, and I guess in the factories they would have like a vibrating table or something that would, make everything level, and it would be easier. This is definitely a homestead. So you put it in the refrigerator to cool it down. You don't necessarily have to, but to speed up the tempering process, you put it in the refrigerator on like a frozen bag of peas or something, right? And then you look at the mold. It takes probably about 20 minutes or something, and you look at the color of the chocolate, and if it's like white and that kind of like weird color to the chocolate, you know that the tempering did not take, and then you have to start over. Now here we're just wrapping it. This is all for personal consumption. We're like kids in a candy store. Chocolate holds a special place in a sacred place in human society. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, we're almost done there. Okay, and yep, so this is a good batch. Well, I hope you like, subscribe, comment. I'm here for any questions. Until next time, aloha.